Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pat Ferris, and I am part of the Healthy Schools training crew. And I hope you enjoyed the sessions this morning. I know I did. I am the former Child Nutrition Director for St. Tammany Public Schools, as well as the Archdiocese of New Orleans. And since my retirement, I've started teaching at Southeastern Louisiana University and serve as a consultant and trainer for Well Ahead. Who would have thought we'd be gathering under these circumstances just a few months ago? So I really want to thank you for all the work you're doing during this unprecedented crisis. New normal means a new way of doing things, new ways of communication, and new ways of dealing with our students as they return to school. Joni Miller and I are looking forward to speaking with you today to discuss ways we can all support healthy eating opportunities for our students.
And Joni, it looks like you need to unmute real quick.
There we are. Am I unmuted now?
Yes, we hear you, but I don't see your slides.
You do not see my slides?
I do not. I'm not sure what the group sees.
Stuart, can you tell me what slides are up there?
Hi, Joni. We don't see any of your slides up right now. Maybe your screen is not shared just yet.
I did share. That's why I wanted to test it a minute ago. I apologize, but share screen.
Joni, I'm working on opening your presentation so I can share it from my end if I need to. It's just opening right now.
Is that shared?
Oh, it is.
There we go.
Thank you so much. I apologize. Now I'm just trying to get my mouse to work with me.
Well,
Okay,
I'll say this to all the
I will
participants.
start over. Pat, did everybody hear Pat's?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Joni Miller, and I am part of the Healthy Schools training crew. I am the former Child Nutrition Program Director for Bogalusa City Schools, and since my retirement, I have been an administrative review auditor and a consultant trainer for Well Ahead and the Institute of Child Nutrition. As I share time with you, I hope somehow that you are doing well in spite of COVID. I hope we have all gained an even stronger value of life, family, work, and faith as we endure these trying times. Over these past few months, we have experienced a new world, and somehow we must maintain our vigilance while we adhere to new rules and regulations. This change has required continued patience and strength to get us to a better place. Moving forward requires a new level of personal responsibility, and we all have a role to play. The Healthy Schools training crew is a statewide network of expert trainers from different organizations that have joined forces to support healthier schools. We aim to equip school and districts with the knowledge and skills they need to celebrate healthy school environments so students can stay healthy and ready to learn. The crew is sustained through federal funds provided by the CDC, Healthy Schools, through the Louisiana Department of Education. We offer in-person and virtual training topics related to nutrition and physical activity. To learn more about the Healthy Schools training crew and how to request a training visit, that you can visit wellahead.com/schoolhealth. In today's webinar, as participants, you will build an understanding to identify opportunities to support students in learning about and developing healthy eating behaviors. implement strategies to support healthy eating behaviors and nutrition education for students, and assess resources to assist implementation. So let's discuss the nutrition environment and how it impacts the health of our future, the students. Let's create a difference for a healthier tomorrow. Most likely, your local wellness policy is already an active part of your district policies, which applies to all schools within your district and outlines many of what we will be sharing today. Effective wellness policies support a culture of health within a school community by establishing practices and procedures that make the healthy choice the easy choice for students, staff, and families.
As Joni said, effective wellness policies support a culture of health within your school community. So how can we support our students and encourage them to develop healthy eating behaviors? Many health experts agree that most adults have established our food and even our fitness preferences by the age of 5. So you can see how important it is, your role in health and wellness of our children as their role now and future adults. Our relationships with food, whether healthy or unhealthy, often have their roots in childhood. This is one reason it's important to consider what we're teaching children about food from a young age. It's important to set children up for success right from the start so they can have long-term healthy food habits. The harm of rewarding or comforting children with food is that the child can then associate the food with emotions such as happiness or comfort. This can continue to unhealthy relationships with food as an adult. Repeatedly using food to reward teaches children that food is tied to emotions and that treats are the best thing ever. It teaches them to eat when they're not hungry and leaves them ill-prepared as adults to control their eating. Research has shown that adults who recall parents using food to control behavior, whether as a reward or as a punishment, are more likely to have bad food habits, such as binge eating. Emotional eating can include anything from sitting down with a pint of ice cream when we're sad, or eating a large bag of potato chips if we're angry, or maybe a box of cookies and milk when we need to be comforted. These are all unhealthy examples of using food as a coping mechanism. When teachers or parents use food as a reward, often these treats are high sugar foods with little nutritional value. This further sets children up to make poor diet choices as they get older. These high calorie foods can contribute to the growing obesity problem in America. Joni will talk later about non-food alternatives that you may want to use in place of food as a reward or celebration. Of course, there's a time for snacks. Children and adults typically get about 1/4 of our calories from snacks. Since snacks contribute such a large portion of our calories, they should contribute a significant number of nutrients as well. So I'm going to talk about healthy snacks and how we can incorporate nutrition education into class time, as well as marketing healthy foods throughout the campus. Now, the state does mandate that health curriculum contains information on health and nutrition. Perhaps as a teacher, you include this in some of your classes. But whether you teach students about nutrition in a class for a grade, regardless, we want to help students learn about nutrition and form good eating habits. Our goal is to provide a healthy school environment to all students. It's important that we provide students with consistent and accurate messages about good nutrition and ways to learn about good, healthy eating throughout the school day. There are so many resources on the web with inaccurate nutrition information. So I want to share with you some excellent resources for some ready-to-use science-based educational materials. A couple of these include USDA and the Healthier Generation. The USDA Team Nutrition materials support national efforts to promote lifelong healthy food choices and physical activity. The team nutrition materials are available at no charge to every school participating in the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program. There is an almost endless list of resources available for every age group. They have materials for teachers, students, and parents on a wide variety of topics. I encourage you to go online and look at the resource catalog for materials available to you, your students, and parents. The materials on the MyPlate would help students learn about healthy eating behaviors. The MyPlate icon uses a familiar image, a place setting for a meal. It prompts students to build a healthy plate at mealtime. MyPlate also illustrates the 5 food groups, reminding students that these foods are the building blocks of a healthy diet. Team Nutrition helps communicate MyPlate messages to students and their parents through a variety of innovative delivery methods, including hands-on activities, electronic games, songs, videos, lessons, stories, events, even tweets, graphics, and school garden information. You may remember the food pyramid that we used for almost 20 years. The MyPlate Guide replaced the food pyramid in 2011. Now, USDA has numerous posters for your classroom, hall bulletin boards, and the cafeteria. The double-sided MyPlate poster has a blue placemat on one side and a magenta colored one on the other. Another large colorful poster helps students visualize how to make half of their plates fruits and vegetables. But some of my absolute most favorite posters are the Dig In series. It's a set of 6 posters featuring fruits and vegetables in a fun and creative way that really gets the students' attention. These posters are an excellent way to promote a healthy school nutrition environment and send students messages throughout the school day. They also serve to reinforce some of the team nutrition educational materials that we will see today. I encourage you to go to the USDA Team Nutrition website to find the materials that fit your needs. The MyPlate materials are central to sound nutrition practices. Here are 3 separate kits, one for each age category that teach students about MyPlate. Each teacher's guide includes lesson plans, games, activities, a song CD, parent handouts, and a poster. Maybe your students would be interested in a MyPlate interactive student workbook filled with 19 different activities that explore Discover MyPlate lesson topics. Each kit includes 25 workbooks for your students. Perhaps you work with young students who are not reading yet. Well, there's even a set of materials for kindergarten students that help them build literacy skills while learning about the 5 food groups and MyPlate. Each one includes a set of 6 different books. And the good news is this is also available as an ebook. A healthy school nutrition environment means many things. Of course, it includes offering healthy food choices throughout the campus. But we also need to encourage students to eat these nutritious foods and reduce the amount of food that is thrown away. With all of the plate waste that we see today, the Help Prevent Wasted Food booklet should be of interest to all of us. It discusses ways to reduce, recover, and recycle food before it goes to waste. Get ideas for your school by reading tips for school. This is for food service directors, cafeteria managers, teachers, parents, students, and school administrators. And are you at a loss for nutrition activities or physical activities for your students? Then order this free 100-page booklet with event ideas for elementary and middle-aged students, middle school age students. These are 2 great booklets that I highly recommend you consider using. So, how can we teach our students about good nutrition and provide them with a fabulous healthy school environment? We can do that. But what happens when they go home? We would hope that the positive messages we provide at school are shared with parents. The good news is Team Nutrition has flyers and newsletters that are designed for all different grade levels. One lets parents know how they can support healthier school nutrition and increase physical activity. Another one provides parents with tips on encouraging children to try new foods and eat a variety of foods from each food group. There's even one that shares information with parents about why whole food grains are so good, and it includes a fun quiz for parents to test their own knowledge. If you want, you can even get a kid-approved cookbook with recipes that serve 50 students. There's so many wonderful materials offered by Team Nutrition. I could spend all day reviewing them, but the last one that I want to share with you, I'd like you to consider. It's called Team Nutrition Cooks. It's a series of cooking-based nutrition education lessons for students ages 8 to 12. This activity guide includes step-by-step instructions on how to engage students in preparing 5 different kid-friendly recipes. Is there a better way to reinforce a nutrition concept than to tell the students about nutrition, show them how to prepare nutritious foods, and then let the students actively participate in preparation and finish with enjoying the treats? How can you encourage your students to sample healthy foods? Well, I encourage you to have a taste test or in some way offer kids a fresh fruit or vegetable when they're in the school cafeteria or even in your classroom. You could offer a sticker for those who accepted the challenge. I think it's a great idea to offer free samples to all students once a month. And don't forget the bag lunch kids. Provide interesting facts, trivia with your one-bite samples. Maybe you'll offer fresh strawberries, watermelon, cucumber, squash, anything that's in season. You could even have a sensory test where students are blindfolded and rate sweetness, tartness, as well as texture. And of course, get the students' food back. Well, you may say, how am I going to pay for this? First of all, it's not very expensive, but I do suggest that you contact your local food service director. Perhaps she can provide samples for you as a promotion. And in some cases, the local produce vendor is willing to donate items. If you provide one-bite samples of different kinds of foods and demonstrate what each food does in the body. For example, if you offered a cube of cheese, this represents proteins. And depending on the age group that you are referring to, younger students, you could call this a grow food since it builds muscles. But for older students, you could explain how amino acids are the building blocks of hormones, enzymes, and muscles. Then you could also give everyone a sample of 1 or 2 grapes representing vitamins. Younger students could call this glow foods since these vitamins are necessary for healthy skin. Older students could have a discussion about the current research and benefits of phytochemicals. Using school-made rolls or other breads, offer students a small portion. This could represent carbohydrates. You could refer to this group as the go foods for the younger students because they provide energy. Older students could discuss the need for B vitamins in bread for the release of energy, or perhaps even discuss the pitfalls of a low carbohydrate diet. To keep students' interest, I used to post a nutrition trivia question. And in some schools, this was on the table with the food samples. So if we were tasting fresh watermelon, I might ask them, what is the largest watermelon ever grown? Now in elementary schools, I would give the students the answer that day. But in high schools, I'd put the question by the cashier and have the students come back the next day to see the answer. So if we could post that question, what do you think is the largest watermelon ever grown? Here's the question. So let's see what you know about growing watermelons. And of course, Louisiana has great watermelons in Washington Parish and other places. We've got a pretty smart group here because the answer is the largest watermelon on record weighed 350 pounds and it was grown by Chris Kent in Tennessee. Smart group today. Now, Louisiana grows some of the best strawberries in the world. And so if you were to be sampling fresh strawberries, maybe you could ask the question, how many acres of strawberries are grown in Tangipahoa Parish? The answer is 350 acres. And do you know how many flats that you can harvest from just 1 acre? Up to 100 flats per acre. And hopefully everybody knows where we hold the Strawberry Festival, downtown Ponchatoula, Louisiana. Another way of keeping kids' interest would be have an activity, maybe in health class or math class. After providing students with the formula to calculate this, the question were to be, how long do I have to walk to burn the calories in 1 candy bar? So after the teacher provides the formula and how you calculate this, she could give a variety of foods ranging from fresh apples, French fries, candy bars. And then she would tell them how many calories are burned for different activities such as running, jumping rope, playing basketball, etc. Now, the answer is it varies on how much muscle a person has, but a 150-pound adult would need to walk 3 miles to use all the calories in this candy bar. Another way to keep kids interested is have a cooking class or a demonstration. Some easy no-bake items could include granola bars, fruit kebabs, yogurt parfaits, or smoothies. Maybe you could promote healthy eating at an after-school program, family night, math night, Title I required meetings, or PTA meetings. But if you really want to engage your students and have some fun, try making a fresh fruit and vegetable smoothie on a smoothie bike. No electricity is needed. And if your district does not have one, you may be able to have a demonstration by the LSU Ag Center. As you can tell, I had a lot of fun with that. And our kids in St. Tammany had a blast making the smoothie themselves. Now, Halloween is right around the corner. So why not try these nutritious but scary treats in place of traditional Halloween candy? The skeleton is made of fresh carrots, red peppers, celery, cucumbers, and mushrooms with a nice yogurt-style dressing. Or maybe you could make these scary apple and strawberry treats.
Thanks for that, Pat. I want to talk about school gardens. School gardens are a growing initiative to help children understand where their food comes from and how their food choices impact their bodies, the environment, and the communities at large. A school garden can have an impact on the entire life and educational program of school and the surrounding community. Gardening activities can be incorporated into nearly every curriculum subject to enhance the appreciation of the natural world and to provide fun, hands-on learning activities for students. The LSU Farm to School program is a great resource for nutrition education. These are new initiatives that provide lessons that align with the state standards for all grades K through 12. Seeds start small, but do you know what happens when they have sunshine, water, and care? They grow into big, beautiful fruits, vegetables, herbs, and flowers. Like seeds, people need care to grow big and strong. They need education, support, and resources. And that is exactly what Seeds to Success provides. This resource guide is an outline of the things you will want to be aware of when starting a school garden. No two school gardens are alike. Your school garden will be unique based upon things such as your student population, age, and needs. Your garden space that's available, what time constraints you might have, and required coursework. Like all living things, plants need air, light, water, and nutrients to grow and thrive. The difference between a beginning gardener and a more advanced and productive gardener is understanding how these factors contribute and interact to produce a successful crop. You can review the basics before diving in with a glossary, discovering your hardiness zone to guide your planting decisions, or tables for summarizing key planting information, helpful links, webinars, fact sheets, safety, garden add-ons, and even fundraising. You can find information from seeds to harvest, recipes, and taste tests. Even careers, you may turn a student's passion for gardening and agriculture into a potential profession. If outdoor gardening is not feasible for you, garden-based learning activities in the classroom also promote science, math, reading, and allow students to increase their awareness of the environment and nutrition. With enough creativity, the garden and garden activities can be applied to just about any lesson taught in the classroom and can be integrated into existing school curriculum. Students have found that incorporating a school garden program into science curriculum improves student achievement more than some traditional methods. These resources will offer teachers free supplies for gardens and a Facebook page to communicate with other educators. You will find lessons and fun activities for both the classroom and the home. If you have multiple classrooms interested in the project and limited space or limited sunlight from the window, you can make a garden mobile. A wagon or utility cart can be made into a mobile garden and transported to multiple classrooms or positioned in different parts of the school to get optimal sunlight and student engagement. The primary goal of a classroom or school garden is to allow the students to grow plants from start to finish. Let's dig a little deeper into school gardens. Let's talk about how gardening can affect the brain. So many concepts can be discussed when planting and caring for a garden. One study showed that children who participated in gardening scored higher in science achievement than those who did not. It can spark questions like, what do the plants need? Why do the plants need sun? How does the plant drink water? Why are worms good for plants? Soon, you will be talking about soil composition, photosynthesis, and more. And a little math by measuring how much plants grow from week to week, or counting flowers on each plant. Supplement the experience of gardening with books about plants, trips to a botanical garden, or create a photo journal of the plants that you are growing. Once you harvest your produce, think of all the brain-building vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients your kids will be eating. Often when students grow their produce, they enjoy eating them or even selling them to the cafeteria or the community as a fundraiser. How does gardening affect the body? When children participate in gardening, the fruits and vegetables that they are inspired to eat will no doubt have a positive effect on their body. But the act of gardening itself can also promote a healthy body. These days, all kids could benefit from a little more physical activity and sunshine they'll get while doing their gardening. Activities like moving soil, carrying a heavy watering can, digging in the dirt, and pushing a wheelbarrow can promote gross motor skills and overall strength for a more fit body. These activities also have been shown to help kids stay calm and focused. How does gardening affect the soul? Time in garden allows for team building and promotes communication skills. Planting a garden, planting the seeds or plants, and watching them grow give kids a sense of purpose and responsibility, making sure that the plants get enough fertilizer, water, and sun fosters mindfulness. The concepts learned while gardening, like composting food scraps for fertilizer, and these might be obtained from your kitchen or using gathered rainwater, can show kids respect and responsibility for taking care of our planet. Studies have shown that when children have contact with soil during these activities like digging and planting, they have improved moods, better learning experience, and decreased anxiety. Most important, the self-esteem a child gets from eating a perfect cucumber that he grew himself can be priceless. Okay, let's do a polling question. How many microorganisms in 1 teaspoon of soil? 3.2 thousand, 5.4 million, 7.6 billion, 1.9 trillion. That's a lot. Okay, so 54 million or 7.6 billion. Well, there are more microorganisms in 1 teaspoon of soil than there are people on the earth. And there are approximately 7.6 billion people on earth. That might make you uncomfortable, but microbes are important for keeping your soil full of nutrients. So we did pretty good on that question. So microbes are important for keeping your soil full of nutrients. Let's talk about keeping students full of healthy nutrients and habits. Consideration should apply to those foods and beverages for celebrations and fundraising purposes in compliance with your local wellness policy requirements. Are we allowing foods high in calories, fat, sugar, or sodium during celebrations and fundraisers? When we do this, we send conflicting messages to our students. So what is the message? The message is we want to support health across the whole school community. We want to send students and staff a consistent message about good nutrition and healthy eating, as well as physical activity. Schools can begin by offering healthy snacks and beverages for their celebrations and fundraisers, as well as including fun physical activity throughout events and celebrations. We want to encourage all school staff and families to follow these practices. So let's address celebrations and rewards. Celebrations could be themed to national holidays or celebrations such as Halloween that's coming up, perhaps a fall fest, Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc. Or they can be tied to fundraisers, school dances, carnivals, races, or competitions, not just to birthdays. Think about an occasion for which the schools you work with have celebrations, whether that is a classroom party or a school-wide celebration. Most of these celebrations will include food. Is there a connection between traditions and the emotional tie to food during celebrations? That is something to keep in mind as we encourage you to rethink those traditions. These are examples of typical foods offered at parties, celebrations, snacks, and food as rewards that are not supplied by the Child Nutrition Department. The best practice is to align classroom snacks and other foods given as incentives as part of a healthier guideline. While these categories are not required by USDA, it is best for consistent messaging to students, staff, and parents to follow the healthier guidelines. We will show you some fantastic ideas for creating a healthy school environment during celebrations, something other than cupcakes. You might ask, what is the harm of one cupcake? But it really isn't just one. With monthly birthday celebrations, holiday parties, and other events, every teacher could easily have 20 celebrations per year. So here's a question. How many calories in one cupcake? 100, 350, 500, or 750? So I see we said between 350 and 500 calories. One cupcake can contain anywhere from 350 to 500 calories. So if you answered B or C, you are correct, but it depends on the baker. That would amount to an extra 7,000 to 10,000 calories per school year per child. So please engage parents, PTO groups, and students to create new traditions to celebrate special days throughout the year. We don't want wellness committees to become the cupcake police. We want the whole school and community to be on board with healthier options for the well-being of our students. Here are examples to share with your district and community for policies that only allows healthy snacks and beverages. There could be non-food celebrations. The Alliance for a Healthier Generation and CDC are wonderful resources to find healthier, compliant food and beverage for students. Encourage parents and staff to share ideas. Perhaps the PTO can keep a running list of easy, creative celebration ideas. Let's take a look at these resources. As much as possible, use non-food celebrations and rewards with students so they don't associate food with positive behavior. That can be a hard habit to break. You may be encouraging children to eat outside of school meal and snack times, or even when they are not hungry. This may be creating lifelong habits of rewarding or comforting themselves with food, reinforcing unhealthy eating habits, and as we said, are very hard habits to break as an adult. This is a Healthier Generation handout with creative ideas. It is recommended using these as a guide for celebrations and providing examples to parents. How about games or crafts? A dance party? Celebrate a class accomplishment that allows extra playtime or recess time. Have a special show and tell as a celebration. How about a themed scavenger hunt around the school? Make it an event. Allow the birthday child to wear special clothing or a special sash, a crown, or even carry a special item. For class celebrations, allow the child being celebrated to choose special parts of the activity, such as the music, maybe a physical activity, or even a book to read. You can use the ideas here for non-food activities and send it home with each child at the beginning of the year. The child and their parents can choose their birthday activity for the year and turn it back into the teacher so everyone knows ahead of time what the special celebration would include. For school-wide celebrations, how about a special guest or a local celebrity to eat lunch with students, or put on a special assembly or organize a community project that different classes have different responsibilities? You might want to take a minute to type in the chat box any non-food ideas that you would like to share. Now, we recognize food is a fun way to bring people together. It is what we do here in the South. Here are some examples of healthy snack and beverage ideas for engaging youth. These are great lists provided in the handouts that you can share with other staff, parents, and community. Results are most successful when stakeholders feel they had input into the decision-making process, especially since food is so subjective and personal. If you are going to have food, get the school community involved in picking healthy foods and beverages for celebrations with these following resources. Here are some great examples from Healthier Generations for involving your community: food surveys, focus groups, or taste tests. Now, let's move on to fundraising. Remember, fundraisers during the school day, where students will be consuming foods and beverages on campus, must be Smart Snack compliant. But what about the foods after school fundraisers? Booster Club, bake sales at evening sporting events, evening family meal nights. These may be used to raise funds, etc. While those are not required by the USDA to be Smart Snack compliant, we again want to make sure we are supporting consistent messaging. Healthier Generation has great ideas for getting creative and active with fundraisers. We have seen success across schools with non-food fundraisers like a dance-a-thon, staff and students supporting competitions, and more. This is an amazing, profitable, healthy fundraising success from one of the Healthier Generation schools. The event started with a 3-mile walk, followed by exhibits, speakers, and activities. Students asked for pledges for the walk and families chipped in $5 to attend. The district raised more than $10,000, which was given back to the schools for physical education equipment. How might your school set fundraisers with the new Phase 3 regulations? This success shows that fundraisers can be inclusive of the whole school community and healthy, all while raising substantial funds. Another fundraiser worked with the principal and teachers to grant no homework passes that kids could purchase and could redeem at the pre-approval and the discretion of the teachers for not doing a homework assignment. Now, teachers also purchased some of these to use as incentives for students, which was a huge hit. This particular school raised $17,000 the first year, and the PTA's average fundraising previously was about $5,000 to $6,000 a year. That's a huge increase. The following year, it was over $23,000. Now, a few other examples of non-food fundraisers might be a water day or school fairs, pajama day, goofy hat or hair day, dunking the staff. Some of these might even be accomplished virtually. We understand that perhaps not all students or families have these extra funds to spend. Healthier Generation has a resource that can also be used for PTA or community groups for fundraising. It's important to remind school wellness committees to engage the PTA or your parent groups, etc., in this conversation so they are a part of the decision-making process and they take ownership of the healthier options.
Joni, those are some great ideas on creative fundraising, and it makes sense that we send positive messages to our students through appropriate marketing. Well Ahead has some fabulous materials that we can use to encourage students to make healthy choices. These materials are easy to use and are available for both elementary and high schools. Imagine what a positive message these vinyl floor stickers could send to your students. Maybe you'd place them in the hallways or in the cafeteria. Just as the team nutrition posters reinforce the consumption of fruits and vegetables, we want all marketing materials to promote our healthy school environment. You may want to look at your school's wellness policy since it is required to include promotion and marketing of healthy eating choices. See what is already in place and see if you can then work to support and even improve marketing throughout the campus. The Eat to Win materials also include signs, stickers, and even a photo frame to help us market and promote healthy food choices. The signs can be prominently displayed at your school. They could be placed in the interior entrance so students could have a daily reminder of your participation in the Eat to Win campaign. As well, it's a daily reminder to tell them to choose fruits and vegetables. We all know how students love to post things on social media. Well, the frame can be put in a prominent place in the school with minimal visual distractions in the background. Their photos can be shared on the social media using hashtag #EatToWin. Elementary school teachers can use the stickers as a reward for students who try a new food or choose fruits and veggies at lunch. The Well Ahead Eat to Win campaign has several sample posts. For example, in elementary schools, you could post whether you're coaching kids to score the next basket, ace the next test, or hit the winning musical note. Modeling healthy behavior by choosing fruits and veggies inspires them to #eat to win. How about this message for high school students? Parents, did you know healthy eating has been linked to better academic performance? Let your teen know that choosing healthy fruits and veggies is part of their school lunch. This makes them winners. The Eat to Win materials include several sample school announcements. For example, today we are kicking off our Eat to Win movement. When you eat fruits and veggies at lunch, you're giving your body what it needs to win at school and in life. So taste a crispy apple, crunch on some broccoli, and help our school be a place where we all eat to win. Now, marketing is everywhere. It's vending machines, posters, coolers, just about anywhere students can see. Food and beverage companies have marketing campaigns that can be very influential to our students. And our goal is to make sure the message they send is a healthy one. Here's what some of your kids might see around your campus.
Pat,
Yes?
Pat, I'm so sorry to interrupt you guys. We're going to have to move to questions now in order to keep
Okay.
on time.
All right.
But we will definitely include information and resources that we didn't get to in this presentation in the follow-up email that that all of our attendees received. So, Stuart, do we have any questions in the chat box for Joni and Pat?
Yes, ma'am, we do. We have one that says, how do we purchase smoothie bikes?
I'll answer that because in St. Tammany, we were able to purchase two. They're available from many different resources. And so I would encourage you to just Google that. I couldn't remember the name right off the top of my head, but I would contact Valerie Vinson with the LSU Ag Center and talk to her because the Ag Center has several bikes in different locations throughout the state. And you might want to see what she has and look at that. Maybe a fundraiser or something like that to help you purchase one.
Awesome, thank you. We have another question from Annie Forsyth. She asks, who decides, or maybe how is policy set for what will be served for each meal at public schools?
Well, I'll jump in on that. The Child Nutrition Program Director decides what will be served at school meals, which includes breakfast, lunch, some snacks, fruit and vegetable program, and some after school snacks. But if you're referring to what might be selected during some of these other activities, that could be part of your wellness committees and decided at that time if it's not provided by the child nutrition department. Does that answer that question for that person?
Let me add one more thing to that. Right now, so many of the schools have challenges with serving. They're serving in the classroom and meal choices are more limited than they've ever been. But if you're interested and you can have your students consume fresh fruits and vegetables, work with your food service director and cafeteria manager to put those things on the menu. Because believe you me, the directors and the managers want to offer healthy choices that kids eat.
Awesome, thank you guys so much. That's all the questions that we have in the feed for now.
Well, it's certainly been a pleasure meeting with all of you. And I hope when you get back that you're going to be involved with marketing and sending a positive message, sending information home to parents to encourage them to offer healthy snacks. And we're looking forward to answering any of your questions in the future about local wellness policy and getting involved. And we've enjoyed speaking with you and hope you can use this information for messages, celebrations, fundraisers, Stay safe, and I hope you, Joni, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.